All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you finished the first assignment, it's time to move on to the second assignment. To do that, I've already saved it here as step block, and I was sure to put it into my school or my Google folder, Google Drive folder. So now what I'm going to do is click on the three lines here, and I'm going to go to New. And I want to make sure I'm in millimeters. If you're not sure how to do that, go to Home, and there we go. We're in millimeters. And for the next project, it is a block of wood with a hole drilled partially through it. Again, it's smaller than a person's foot, so we're going to zoom in here pretty close. And this first step requires a rectangle. Again, the numbers are changing as I'm moving my mouse. So now I'm going to type in the length and width. So I'm going to type in 180, comma, 75, and I'm going to hit the enter button. And then I'm going to go a little bit closer. I'm going to use the push-pull tool, and I'm going to lift it up a thickness of 20. So here I am, I'm at 100 and 105. I'm looking at these numbers down here. I'm just going to go up a random number, and now I'm going to type in 20. And there it is, the correct size. Just like before, I'm going to take my dimension tool, and I'm going to verify that I have this thing the correct size. So from one end to the other, I'll just drag this away. It is sure enough 180. And it is 75, and the height, I want to be careful I don't click on the midpoint here. If I do that, it gives me half of the number because it measured from the midpoint of the line. I'm going to undo that. I want to make sure I'm getting from one end to the other, or I can click on the line itself. Now this is really hard to do when you're zoomed out. So you want to zoom in here to do this kind of detailed work. So there we go. We've got the big three. We've got length, width, and height, and they are all correct. The next part of this is a bit tricky. I need to put a circle and then cut a hole into the top surface up here. So to do that, I'm going to have to do some measuring. So I'm going to take my tape measure tool, and according to the drawing, the center of that circle is 50 millimeters from this back edge. So I'm going to drag my mouse this direction. I'm going to type in the number 50, and there I've got a guideline. The center of the circle is also 35 millimeters from this left side here. So I'm going to bring this in, type 35, enter, and there we go. We know where the center of the circle goes. I'm now going to click on the circle tool. I'm going to find the center of the circle like that. Click. Don't be a button holder. Just drag this out a certain number or a certain amount. And now I'm going to type in the size. Now, SketchUp uses radius for its circles. So for that, I'm going to type in the number 9. And that's going to give me a radius of 9 or a diameter of 18. I'm going to press the enter button, and there we go. I'm now going to use the push-pull tool, and I'm going to push this down. I could lift it up, but I want to go down, so I'm just going to get it started in the direction I want. And according to the drawing that I'm looking at, it says that it is 15 millimeters deep. So I'm now going to type in the number 15, hit the enter button, and there we go. We now have a block with a hole. That hole does not go all the way through. So to show this, I'm going to take my eraser tool here, which I can also hit the letter E. I can erase these guidelines. However, I think if I keep those guidelines on, it's going to make it easier for me to dimension it. So there we go. I now know that the center of the circle is 35 millimeters from that edge. I'll just move this out here. And it is 50 millimeters from there. I'm going to click on the circle itself. No, I'm not. Let's try that again. There should be a way. There we go. I'm going to click on the circle itself, and it gives me a diameter of 18. So now I know that it's the right size. That would be a radius of 9, a diameter of 18. And the depth of this circle, well, that's a little bit hard to do. I'm going to try to put a dimension here and see how it works, a vertical dimension, and bring it out. No, that's not going to work. So we're going to undo that. As long as we see that it goes in there and doesn't go all the way through, I think we're good to go. So I'm going to now take my eraser tool and erase these guides like that. There we go. In this picture, I got length, I've got width, I've got height, I've got the size of the circle, and I know the location of the circle is correct. So 35 by 50, 180 by 75 by 20. This is what I would be submitting. Real quick lesson here on saving. Up here where it says untitled, when you're all done, we're going to call this project 2. So to do that, I'm going to click on My Drive, and then your SketchUp Zellers folder from yesterday or from the day we set it up. And down here, I'm going to call this project 2, hole in block, we'll call this one. And I'm going to hit save. This is what you would take a screenshot of and submit.